What's going on YouTube? Yamayati, welcome to the channel. And in today's episode, we're working again on the Benelli 135 TNT. We're going to be installing the Chimera Airbox mod. I've never done it. I've seen a couple of videos on YouTube that were pretty decent. We're gonna try to do that today. So if you guys want, stick around, stay tuned, and enjoy. If any of this content interests you, do me a huge favor. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you want, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to be notified of all new uploads. Alright guys, so I went ahead and picked this up from Steady Garage. This is the Chimera Airbox mod. We're going to be installing this today. Seems pretty simple, but I don't really know what's all involved until we start going through it step by step. Here is the part that we ordered. Let's see what comes in this box. Alright guys, so we got the air filter here. We also have the pipe, a couple of stickers. And this is the part that's gonna go to the throttle body. So yeah, pretty nice. Chimera premium performance parts, made in the USA. What? I thought these were made overseas for some reason, but nice. These are the parts we're installing. Looks pretty simple, but the hard part is gonna be taking everything off the bike. All right guys, first things first, I'm gonna jack up the bike. I was able to put these Rizoma spools on these brackets that were left over from when we removed this fender bracket that was here, and it's gonna work out pretty well. Hey, not bad. Go ahead and grab your 10mm socket and remove these two bolts for this bracket. We will be removing the battery as well. You have to remove this little fuse box, so you have to push down on this little pin, kind of go inside, pull it out, and lift this up. You have to remove this in order to get to this screw here so you can remove the battery. Your battery terminals are also 10mm. Go ahead and carefully move these out of the way. Go ahead and remove the battery. I'm just gonna remove this to see what's in here. I know that this is not really part of the process, but just curious. And there is the filter. So this is your air filter that's in there now, and this is basically what we're replacing. This is gonna be replaced with that, and this box actually has to come out as well. All right guys, I kind of jumped ahead. I removed a screw that was here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here total. There's also one right here. It's actually a screw, like a Phillips head. And now I'm gonna go ahead and remove these with the Allen key. Do the other side as well. All right, there's one down here. It's the same on both sides, guys. There's one down here that you got to remove. one that's here. There's also 1, 2, 3, 4 screws on the inside. All right, be gentle with this. So that piece was actually clipped right here, so you have to pull it from the front up. It'll unsnap, and then you could reverse that whole thing out like I just did. All right guys, next thing to do is remove the tank. I believe it's this screw here, this one, and this one, and the whole tank should come up. We may have to disconnect some pieces on the bottom, but for now, let's just see what happens. Put this here for the tank. All right. Now I did see in most of these videos, most people did not actually disassemble the whole tank itself. So I'm gonna try to duplicate that and just move it out the way to remove this airbox mod. There is a screw that's kind of in here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's right here very low. We will have to get to that screw that's right there in order to loosen this box out. Guys, I don't know if you can see it, but there's also 2 screws that are here. These are 10 millimeters as well, here and here, that have to be removed in order for this airbox to come out. I don't know if you guys can see it, but here's the other one that needs to come out right here. All right, there's the second one. As you can see, now this is a little loose right here. Maybe you guys can see it better, but this screw here is the clamp that's holding this on. This has to come out. Maybe you guys can see it better from this angle. Oh yeah, that baby's loose. So now it's detached, but the problem is that most of these videos, even though this is detached, it does not come out freely. I seen a guy cut it. I don't know if I want to do that, but this is not going to come out very easily. All right, guys, I'm going to try to drop this plastic that's under here down. That's what I saw in some other videos. So there is a screw that's here that's holding a bracket that crosses here for the battery. This is, you see this little screw that's here? So we're going to go ahead and remove this for now. Move this here, save this so we know it's different. There's a screw that's here. Go ahead and remove this one just right here. It's an Allen key. There's another one that's here. Go ahead and remove that one. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this plastic too, because I just don't want to scratch this thing up. I'll have to remove this plate again. Hey. I think we're gonna have to remove this ECU as well. So go ahead and loosen this up. I think it's gonna keep that plastic from dropping down, so. I'm gonna have to remove this bracket because I think this bracket is keeping the plastic from dropping down, so give me a second, let me experiment a little bit. The reason I was trying to remove that, which just flung over there, was because there's a screw that's here that needs to be removed, I'm assuming, in order to drop this box out the way, so bear with me. I'll go ahead and pick that up in a second. Let's see. All right, guys, we are almost there. If I can. All right, it's really close, guys. Woo. Okay. All right, guys. That was not easy. So I didn't really have to remove everything, but it made it a little loose, so it kind of wiggles around, and then I was able to go ahead and remove this. So far we're good, guys. Hopefully in the video you'll see how I did it and you could duplicate it yourself. Go ahead and get some needle nose pliers. Remove this here. Where'd that hose go? All right. Guys, while I'm here, I'm gonna be removing this evaporator system. I've seen it removed, not really sure how it truly affects the bike, but it seems like everybody's been removing it, so I'm gonna do the same thing. All right, guys, to remove the bracket, I had to remove this other screw that's here to the left, so these two screws have to come off in order to remove the bracket that holds the canister. Once you get that done, grab your canister and you will see that it's now free. You need to unplug this plug here, and I'll show you guys what to do with this here in a minute. But just go ahead and unplug this little clip that's here. Do not lose it, kind of stick it out here so you don't forget it, and go ahead and try to fish out this charcoal canister. Now all this is gonna come out, guys, so don't freak out. Go ahead and disconnect this clip here. Boom. Leave this here. Remove this right here. Now guys, the only piece that I'm missing is a cap that's gonna go right here on this throttle body. I'll need a cap or some sort of cap to clog this up here so there's no vacuum leak. All right, guys, go ahead and pull this off. I will need a cap, guys, for this here. You cannot leave this open because it'll cause a vacuum leak. So I'm gonna have to go to the auto parts store and get a cap for this so that way it does not leak air. All right, guys, there's the charcoal system removed. So guys, to avoid a check engine light, these two connectors have to be touching. So there's two things we could do. We could stick a paper clip in here, or we could actually cut these wires, splice them together, and just leave it shorted out. That way the check engine light doesn't come on, but we'll get to that here in a minute. All right, guys, so I went ahead and put a piece of paper clip in here, so that way it will make contact so the check engine light doesn't come on once we reverse this process. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some black tape on it just to protect the connectors, and we should be good. All right, boom. Also, guys, before I went too far, I reinstalled this bracket that was going across here. That's the bracket that we removed to kind of push this down to get the air box out, and went ahead and put all the screws back. So these two on this side, these two on this side. There is a ground on that screw, so don't forget that. Went ahead and put this one back on. The two that were here that I removed, and all the ones on the other side are back in place. So all this is back the way it is. I even put the ECU back in its place, and now we can continue with the airbox mod. All right, guys, go ahead and open this up. This is the Chimera Air Intake that we're fixing to install. Boom. I really don't know which side goes where. Okay, so that obviously goes here like this. All right, guys, this is gonna go in here like this. I may have to loosen it up a little bit. Yeah, let's go ahead and loosen this up. Here's a star screwdriver. Let's go ahead and open this up a little bit. All right, so that goes in here like this. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here like this. All right. I'm gonna loosen this up a little bit more. I'm gonna push that as far back as I can go. So that is there like this. Just go ahead and tighten this down once you have it in place, or what you think is correct. Kind of position this where you can get to it. All right, guys, don't forget that this hose is gonna connect to the air intake. So do that really quick. All right, guys, so everything's installed. We got the hose here. We got these two clamps tightened down. We got the clamp for the air filter tightened down. We have the vacuum hose here. We ended up doing the mod with the paper clip for the sensor that's there. And so far, everything's been going pretty simple. I still have it taken apart. I will need a breather for this. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna hook up the battery, put all the connections back, and just turn on the bike to make sure that it's running with no problems. Went ahead, went to AutoZone, picked this up. It was like $4. Let's see if we could find one to match the bike. This is an assorted pack. So which one fits, I do not know, but that's the opening there. Maybe this one will fit. Yeah, that one works. I don't know if you guys can see it, but this one will work just fine. But I'm probably gonna put this little thing around it. All right, guys, there it is. There, it's covering the little valve, and I put the little clip just so it doesn't fall. But it was pretty tight. And that was at AutoZone. It's just an assorted pack, but I found one that fits and we're good to go. All right, guys, I've seen a lot of videos where people made plates that basically just covered the back of this filter so water and debris don't shoot up in it. But what I did was I just took the air box that was there and I actually cut it in pieces. I know that's kind of weird, but as you can see from the back, it looks like the air box is still in place. But what I did was I just cut it basically in half and cut it a few times in different angles just so that way it'll fit to keep water and debris from shooting up in here. And as you can see, guys, here is the leftovers of the air box. I just took a grinder and just kept cutting pieces away until I found something that fit. And once I was done, I was able to basically just slide it through the bottom of here, kind of like inwards and back up. And as you can see, guys, from the back, it gives it nice protection and it's gonna keep water and debris from going up in there. And it's not gonna restrict the air because obviously, guys, we have this whole side open so air can go in, and looks pretty good. So basically air is going to come in through here anyway, and it's going to have protection from the back with water and debris. All right, guys, now that the battery's back in place, let's go ahead and turn it on, see what happens. guys, so the air intake is installed. Everything's good to go. It turns on, it runs. Now all I have to do is reverse everything that we did to put everything back the way it was. And guys, that's pretty much it. I mean, don't lose your screws. Try to put everything back the way it was. But as you can see, even though this was a little in depth because we had to remove so many pieces in order just to remove the factory airbox, it came out pretty decent. So guys, I'm pretty much happy with it. That is one of the latest mods on the Benelli 135 TNT. You guys can do this yourself. No need for a mechanic. Between my YouTube and plenty of others out there, you guys can do these mods yourself. So guys, thanks for checking out the channel. Be blessed, ride safe, take it easy on them filthy streets, and remember, you got to work on Monday. Peace.